Welcome to the They Follow from Burners podcast with your host, Raider Ragu. Please download the podcast and follow the show. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Raider Ragu.
Let's go.
Yo, command Raider Nation, get on in here. Welcome to They Follow from Burners podcast with Raider Ragu. Thanks for tuning in. First of all, really quick, please follow the show and turn on the auto download. Look, to all my people, this is how you turn on the auto download. Go up to the little three dots thing, drop down menu, go to settings, go down in your settings a few lines, and you'll see if you got on the auto download or not. It'll say download 5 episodes or whatever it says, but just make sure that's on. Even if you don't listen, I hope you listen, but I know all you guys aren't into like Raiders, all like that or whatever, but everybody that has ever listened, if you could do that and follow the show, that's what we need. All right. So yeah, let's get right into it. Man, can we pick an offensive coordinator? Yo, wow. So the latest, since I've been back in the lab, first we thought we were all in on Cliff Kingsbury. He was supposed to be taking over the offensive coordinator job. And then a day later, he backed out. So he took the job on a Friday, backed out on a Saturday. Today is now Monday. Still no official signing for that position. The rumors right now, or the rumblings, or what everybody's saying, the same type of situation we had when they thought they had signed Cliff Kingsbury. Now that the new guy who's allegedly going to be signed is Luke Getsy, the Chicago Bears former offensive coordinator who got fired along with his entire offensive staff, basically. And all these dudes get fired. I'm not down in the dude off of that right there, but I'm just saying what happened. That's what happened. He just got fired. So even though he's not officially our guy yet right now, I'm just going to go into it a little bit about who this guy is, Luke Getsy. So as far as in the pros, we'll start up there. He spent 7 seasons in Green Bay. So 6 of the seasons where he was involved with them, they went to the playoffs. So 7 years, 6 of the seasons, they went to the playoffs. They won the NFC North 5 times with 1 wild card. We all know, all real NFL people know, the NFC North was kind of down. And I'm not going to say down, it just wasn't one of the stronger divisions, and Aaron Rodgers was over there for years, kind of running that thing. But they never could get it done in the playoffs. Well, this guy was part of that, Luke Getsy. That's just a fact, all right? He did manufacture offense sufficient to win division and go to the playoffs but he wasn't there when they went to the Super Bowl that one time. He wasn't coaching in the NFL yet. And out of all of those 6 playoffs appearances, no Super Bowl appearances, or, of course, not any Super Bowl victories if you didn't go to the Super Bowl. And I believe they only played the NFC Championship once of those times. A lot of those were like first round exits, upsets, if you would. This guy, Getsy, however, he coached at Mississippi State in 2018, and they were number 2 in rushing in the Southeastern Conference, right? It was a pro simulation conference. MSU that year ran for 300 yards in a game 4 different times. It's college, right? It's not pro football. I know that. But I don't give a damn. 300 yards rushing in any league, even the rec, Parks and Rec, or intramurals. Y'all doing some running of that rock. Y'all toting that rock. Y'all toting the you know what out that rock. You know what I mean? So also, Devontae has worked with him. So we'll go that route. Devontae in Green Bay, right? 70 plus receptions, 10 plus touchdowns as a younger receiver with this guy 2 years before he moved on. Right? Pro Bowl, made his first Pro Bowl under this guy, Devontae did. So double-digit touchdowns. He didn't even get that this year. 70 plus receptions for Devontae. So he can throw the rock to a number 1 type receiver. We know that. Well, he can design plays that gets the rock to number 1 receivers like Tay, because he's done it. And he was a younger Okor then. So I would imagine that he only got a little bit better at that. All right? Because when a guy is an Okor, you can't just put the whole failure on him. You got to look at the whole organization and the head coach and all that too. The final decisions go with head coaches, never coordinators or assistants. So you work with Devontae. He's a playoff caliber coordinator, or has been in the offensive system. He was the quarterback coach, and he was the passing game coordinator on those Green Bay teams. He started out as like a quality control guy and then moved into QB coach, then moved into pass game coordinator before he moved on. Yeah, went to Mississippi State. He was an Okor there. Like I said, in 2018, and he came right back to Green Bay and got it. That's what, he got it on with those numbers that we talked about, going to playoffs 6 times, 5 NFC North titles, 1 wild card. The numbers with Tay, 70 plus receptions, 10 plus touchdowns with Tay. And then he gets hired by the Bears. Bears hire him as his offensive coordinator, as their offensive coordinator for the first time. He's a coordinator. When he first got there in 22 as the guy, the Bears were 28th in offense. It's pretty sucky. But we got to look at the personnel Bears had in 22, right? It was a mess there, right? We had, they were coming off the Trubisky experiment and trying to work Justin Fields in there, and it was just a disaster. The next year in 23, which is last season, of course, the Bears moved up to 20th in offense. Still second tier of the league, of course. However, a lot of dysfunction there, right? Fields in and out of the lineup about 3-4 weeks. I know the Raiders played them with backup running backs and quarterback. They're down to like the third string guy. Just something I want to get to as well. So, with all that in consideration, the guy got his team to 20th in offense and played pretty well down the stretch. Bears was one of those teams you really didn't want to play because they were capable of beating anybody, capable of losing to anybody. One of those type teams. So, the greatness, that is the Raiders. We played the Bears, right? Luke Getsy was the O core, right? This was pre AP taking over, right? So this was before Halloween of 2023 when AP officially took over as the interim coach, right? So in this game, AP was a linebacker coach on the staff with Patrick Graham, right? Bears ran for 173 yards on the Raiders with backup running back. That's just a simple fact. Maybe maybe to it. Also, the quarterback was a backup. And backup running backs, like I think the third string guy, and some guy named Foreman, and then the backup QB, some guy named Badgett, right? And they put tips on the Raiders and ran for 173 yards. So perhaps PG and A. Let's get this guy in here with that run game that we couldn't figure out. And then we'll get this, AP thinking with Hugh, who's allegedly coming over, Hugh Jackson. A couple other offensive guys that he's going to pair up with this guy. We'll get some hard, tough nose running, and then we'll get that passing game the way we want it. And remember, he's already worked with Tay and was able to get Tay the ball, right? So, also, the thing that I thought of, the Bears tight end, the Met, was like a favorite target of Justin Fields. That could be a byproduct of the offense. Maybe the tight end is open in an effort to stop those outside guys because of the formations and zone flooding and whatnot, route combinations by the receivers and running backs. Maybe it wiggles the tight end open a lot more than other offenses. Haven't really dived right all the way into it because we don't know what's going to be, if this guy Getsy is really the guy or not. There's no need to be wasting time doing all kind of research. And he ends up not even being the guy. But Cole Kmet, I know for sure, one of the top tight ends last couple of years, catching touchdowns. And just, catching footballs, period. So we got the young tight end that we just drafted, right? The Raiders do, Michael Mayer. So Bodes well for him. So we're going to run. We're going to throw to the tight end. Right? And we're going to be able to get Tay the ball. This is evidence. This is stuff that I'm just putting together from what has been witnessed, right? He runs the ball. He ran for 173 yards in the Raiders. Back when he went to college years back, he had a team that ran for 300 yards 4 different times, right? He worked with Devontae before. Devontae went to the Pro Bowl for the first time with the guy. 70-plus receptions, double-digit touchdowns with him. Ran for 173 yards against the Raiders. We couldn't stop him, right? Throws to the tight end because Cole Kmet is one of the better tight ends as far as pass catching and catching touchdowns the last few years. All right. All of this is nothing. None of that is made up. I didn't just make any of that up. That's facts. Like, people can come with jokes and all that. About the guy and who he's not and what he's not. But what I just stated are facts. So in the last 2 years, Cole Kmet's got 13 touchdowns. He's got 123 receptions for 1,263 yards in the last 2 years, 13 touchdowns. All right, so that bodes well for our young tight end. He's already with Tay, and he runs the football. We don't know if they're going to keep Josh. We don't know if they're going to try to draft someone. But let's say, as it's constructed now, Josh and Zeus, great running back room, right? Jakob at the fullback, Tay, and we got Mayer, and then we got some other tools in Jacoby and Trey Tucker. All right, so this guy has been effective. So we're not just going to, dump on this guy because we didn't get Kingsbury and you guys are out there thinking that was the sexy pick, like how they say. Like he was that guy, or he was going to bring us Caleb Williams, or whatever people thought, right? This guy was a head coach that got fired in the league, right? Went down to college and called some plays, and then all of a sudden he's the hot commodity. We're not going to buy into all of that, and we're not going to trash Getsy before we give him a chance. So if we do get a guy like Getsy, reading in between the lines, say that is the hire, I feel like the Raiders are going to shore up the defense a little bit, stay at 13 in the draft the best QB that's available still at that pick. There will be at least 3 QBs that people don't have highly rated, but are upperclassmen in college football and are either at the Senior Bowl or going to be at the Combine and are looking to get drafted and play football in the National Football League as well, right? There's always going to be a surprise guy that we didn't see coming that ends up being decent, just like there's going to be a guy that we thought was can't miss that's going to end up being not that great, right? So reading between the lines, I'm feeling like they're going to do what I said about the defense, shore it up, different positions. We'll talk about that probably on another pod. And then stay at 13, grab the Q available, shore up the offensive line as well through free agency and the draft, and then get a bridge guy, right? I know a lot of us don't want to hear that, but it is a formula that works. You sit the rookie because you're not going to win with the rookie anyway. But if you sit a rookie into his first, second, later in his first year, into his second year, beginning of his second year, even into his third, sure that he's fully developed. He's not going to go out there and get shell shocked and end up not blossoming into what he could become because he has to be torn down and rebuilt because his career started off so Mickey, right? Under some system that he wasn't ready to play, and at the game speed he wasn't ready to play at. See it happen all the time. So there's plenty of bridge guys, right? Raider Nation, I should say, aren't going to like any of these names I throw out, like Cousins, Wilson, Mayfield, Minshew, Darnold, Winston, hell, Aaron Rodgers. You never know. Getsy worked with him. It's another little tidbit. You know what I'm saying? Say the Raiders are able to get one of those guys as a bridge guy. Okay. Let's say they're able to get Kirk Cousins. Kirk can come play a couple years, man. Stop playing, man. Hand the football off, play action the football, get the ball to Devontae, get the ball to the tight end. Stop playing. Trying to act like Kirk can't do that. I don't care he coming off the Achilles or not. Stop playing. Saying Kirk can't do that. And then we bridge him on into whoever it's gonna be. I don't even want to get to start the frenzy by the nation, but the guys that'll be around at 13 this year, 2024 National Football League draft. Maybe Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, guys of that nature. A couple of lesser named guys expected to go in later rounds. Also McCarthy, J.J. McCarthy, the guy who won national championship in Michigan. These guys expect to be available. I know these aren't sexy names, but bridge guy into the young guy, playoffs. Hopefully, by the time the young guy is ready to play, championship level. All right, we're not going to labor on it either, nation. That's going to be the plan going forward. Settle down, relax, stop playing. Bridge guy into the next guy, whoever that might be. This is the time of year where we got to just sit back and relax. Wait till the draft. It's going to be a lot of speculation. But the sensible thing to do, build the defense, get the offensive line tightened up, grab a bridge guy, grab the guy in the first round at pick 13. I laid it out for you right there, Tom T. You follow from burners. We know that. Just follow the blueprint. Can't miss there. We know what we need to do against the Chiefs, the Donkeys, the Chargers. Chargers got a new coach, yeah. We expect them to be a little bit better. We still expect to beat them. Went 4-2 in the division. We expect to go at least 4-2 in the division again. So we're not going to labor over that. That's going to be the plan. Also, I did mention Jameis Winston too. Hey man, I know it's not sexy names that you guys want to hear. These are bridge guys that can get us to our guys ready to play. Meanwhile, we can still kind of stay at a playoff level get some experience in the playoffs, and then be ready to win a championship when the guy is ready. Well, anyway, I'm going to hold you guys on that. But I want one last little segment here. Noticing a trend in college football, coaching. You can't say you didn't hear it here on They Follow from Burners. I've heard it on television as well. I'll give those guys some credit this time. But coaches are getting tired of that NIL and portal bull crap. What I call constant free agency. You even got coaches in the portal. And what I mean is, Jim Harbaugh wins a national championship. Instead of running it back, can't get out of there fast enough. Back to the NFL. Saban, runner-up national championship. Got the new quarterback, Milroe, challenged to get back at it and do it one more time. Perhaps the greatest football in college, the greatest coach in college football history. I'm cool. I retire. Got rumors of Chip Kelly interviewing for offensive coordinator jobs in the National Football League. Meanwhile, he's the head coach of the UCLA Bruins. Take a coordinator job to get back to the league. Like Jeff Hafley did at Boston College. Matt LaFleur got him to come coach his defense, come be a defensive coordinator. He's the head coach at Boston College. So NIL, portal, starting to run dudes back to the league or run dudes to the league if they can get there, if they know a guy. And I just noticed it as a trend right now. I don't really have a strong opinion on it yet, but initially my thought on it is when it gets a little tough, instead of, you guys can't sit back and collect the fat contracts, you're like, I'm out of here, man. Screw this crap. I'm going to go back to the league, or I'm going to get to the league if I know somebody that'll, give me a job. But it was cool, before that when you had all the control. But now the kids are empowered a little bit, getting some money, getting in the portal, don't have to just stick around after you accept a job at another school and get up out of there, or for any reason they feel like they ain't starting, not getting a fair shake or whatever. Then the portal on you. So we'll see. Maybe the portal does need some tinkering, some restrictions added, perhaps some fail safes or whatever. But it's just funny to see the little trend of these coaches running back to the league or running to the league for the first time if they can get there. So yes, guys, I'm not gonna hold you. That was just the last little part I want to get in there, and we will see you next time. Like I always say, just win, baby. Thanks for tuning in to the They Follow from Burners podcast with Raider Ragu. Please, again, remember, go to the auto download. Go to the settings on the little ... Look down there, make sure the auto download's on there. Even if you don't listen, just make sure you download the show because we need those numbers. It helps us tremendously. We love you. Thanks. Just win, baby, and peace.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode. Please be sure to subscribe, download, and share B. We really appreciate you spending your time with us here at They Follow from Burners podcast with Raider Ragu.